Good evening, people. Welcome to the Blue Stand once again. Thanks for coming on and watching the channel. Um, we're going to discuss the Brighton game again. I know it's been going around on Twitter a lot week after the game. Everyone was really frustrated with that result. I don't blame anyone, but it happens in football. In the Premiership, anything can happen. Um, yeah, before I introduce the panelists, I just want to say Graham Potter, he got it absolutely wrong. He admitted it at the end of the game. He said he got it wrong. It's his fault. He takes the blame. What else can he say? Uh, I mean, the players, it was a disaster. Uh, playing Sterling left wing back and Pulisic right wing back just made sure Brighton would have win this game and win it by a margin. Because we left the back open, you have Sterling and Pulisic not running back in time. Our midfield was a shambles. Hove with Ruben doesn't work, never does. It was a shambles. And I can't blame Thiago Silva or Chalobah at all. They were forced to come out of the positions because wing backs weren't running back to help. That's why we got opened up, sliced up by Brighton, brilliant attacking football. And they did play brilliant. Every time we had the ball, there was 4 or 5 players surrounding the Chelsea player. They were hunting in packs, which made it very hard for Chelsea, especially with all our injuries as well. And we just couldn't get started. We didn't really get started. We got the goal back, but it was too late. It was 3-0. It was 3-1, 3-0 at halftime, 3-1. A good goal, great cross by Gallagher to Havertz to get that goal. Good goal, but it was too late. Then we had Kepa coming off with a slight injury. We don't know how it is. I'm hoping he will make the Arsenal game. I'm hoping he will make the Arsenal game. And we got that goal 3-1. We started for the next 12. We actually started to attack more. We made some chances, but we wasn't clinical. Then Kepa come off. Mendy went in goal. I'm not blaming Mendy for the 4th goal. It was meant to happen. He punched the ball out to a Brighton player. I can't blame him too much. It was a good save at the beginning from that shot, but we can only blame ourselves. We didn't turn up, and if we don't turn up against Arsenal, forget the top for a while anyway. Because everyone's going above us. United, Newcastle are 4th, Man United 5th, and we're sitting in 6th place right now. I'm not saying we're not going to get top 4. I still believe in Graham Potter. He will get it right. He needs to bring his men in, the players he wants. He has a chance in January, but it depends who's available. In the summer, I'm sure Bowley will back him even more. So till we sort this, till the injuries come back, and we miss Kanté. How much? We miss Fofana, we miss Reece James, but we're not going to see them till after the World Cup. So we have to get on with it. Let's hope we come out firing on all cylinders against Arsenal. That's the only thing we can do. And the other thing is, before I bring in the chat panel, yeah, uh, the other thing is I want to say before I bring on the panelists, we have to be patient. Don't forget, Todd Bowley is not just rebuilding a team; he's rebuilding Chelsea Football Club. That's what's going on right now, and it all comes right straight away. This will take time. It could take 2 years at least, or 3 years maybe, but we will get there. I'm 100% sure. Give Bowley the backing and Potter the backing as our manager, because he's our manager now. I don't want to hear all this nonsense on Twitter. Potter out, Bowley out already. They're trying to rebuild this club. And, after we lost Roman and Pericek, Marina, everyone else in that board, it's a rebuild. And it's not easy to just come back and expect Chelsea to be up there, challenging City right now. Which a lot of these fans are saying. We're still in the Champions League, don't forget. I don't see Liverpool fans going crazy. They're ninth in the table. They're not shouting Klopp out or anything, nothing like that. So I want to stop all this nonsense. It's just driving me. I'll get more angry. You fans out there, our great Chelsea fan base, all of you, all over the world. If you support Chelsea, you have to support them now when things are hard. When we start losing games, that's when the club needs our support. You have to understand that. I do, because I've seen, as you all know, I've been going to the bridge all my life, and I've seen Chelsea in worse situations, and this ain't nothing compared to what I've seen. And we always came back. And that's our DNA. We come back and we went up top again. So be patient, please. Yeah, I want to bring in the panelists. We have Chelsea down here, Kenny and Dex at the moment. Hi, chaps. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very fine. Big up to Kenny. Big up to Dex. Big up to Nick Blue. Thank you for joining me to join the show.
Yeah, and Dan, I'll come to you. Yeah, well, Dex, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Good. I can hear you. Kenny, can you hear us? Kenny?
Yeah, big up here. Good evening from good evening from here. I think you can hear me, guy.
Yeah, we hear you. Good. Yeah, let's go to Chelsea.
I hope my mic is clear.
It's very clear, Kenny. Very good. Yeah, I can hear all of you. Good. Chelsea, Dan, I want to start with you. What's your opening comments about everything?
All right, mate. Could I just shout out one Chelsea legend, because it's Dill's birthday today. It's no Dills who comes to our show. It's his birthday. It's his birthday today. Could we wish him a happy birthday? I think he says he's 24, but I reckon he's 47 years of age. He ain't 47. He ain't 24. He's 47.
What are you talking about? Steve Weeks? No,
yeah,
it's
24
Steve Weeks' birthday. No,
yeah,
you're
Dills,
right.
Yeah,
it's Steve Weeks. Steve Weeks' birthday today.
Yeah, Steve Weeks' birthday, but Dills who comes to our show, Dills CFC, it's his birthday today, and also happy birthday to him.
I'll send you the link. Happy birthday, Dills. No wonder you ain't on it's your birthday. Yeah, congratulations on your birthday. 25th of 47. Yeah. Best of luck to you. Go on.
Anyway, I've heard everything what you said on the panel, Nick. Two things we've got to say about Chelsea Football Club. We are shoftless, shambles, influence, and destroyers. Do you know why I say them things? Because for a minute, Potter against Brighton, he effed up. He got that formation totally wrong. He decides to put Conor Gallagher, Kai Havertz, and Mason Mount up front. The Raheem Sterling, Pulisic at right backs, a left right back. Corey and Ruben Loftus-Cheek in the middle. Then we had Chalobah, Thiago Silva, and Cucurella at the three at the back. Then Kepa in goals. I said from the start against Salzburg, when we played that full formation, this system is not gonna work against Brighton, and it bites us on that, it bites us up on the toes, our tongue. What the heck, Conor Gallagher? Yeah, he might have had a good game. But he ain't the best up front, man. Put him in the midfield or something. Kai Havertz, he scored for us, brilliant goal. But come on, man. I thought Potter would have changed this to 4 at the back, yeah. Because from the first to start, you saw Brighton had the 3 at the back, then they changed it to a 4 at the back from the start for finish. And it was a joke. It was literally a joke.
Yeah.
Where could you expect this team against Brighton beating Brighton where they got a false attack like Trossard, who's been in full? We've got the likes of here. 2 own goals, yeah, it just been like 2 own goals was like, oh my god, was out of mistake. What is this? I don't get why Potter is doing this. Like, he's changed so many formations. Can't he look in his goggles that it's not working for Chelsea? The system's not working for Chelsea. If he plays this formation on Sunday, I'm afraid I'm not watching the game because it's a joke. Sterling's not a wing back. Pulisic's not a left wing back. It is a joke.
No.
It is.
I think he's realised that now. I think
he hasn't.
Like I said, Dan. Now, like I said, he took the blame. He knows he has to do something else. But like I said, this is a rebuilding program, big rebuilding, not just the team but the whole club. It will take time. We're going to have hiccups like this. It won't be the first time. Let me go on to Dex, and I'll come to you, Kenny. Dex, what's your opening statements, please? What's happening to start? Yeah, sorry, Dex.
I was good. Yeah. Basically, like I said this before on Sunday. I think that game against Brighton. I think when you look back at it, obviously, you know, people saying about Potter, he got the system wrong again and the formation and such. But I think what kind of like killed it for Chelsea was just the first half performance. Like, you know, they basically gifted goals to Brighton. Like one goal was they tried to play out from the back, even though they knew that Brighton were a high pressing side. So they wanted to win the ball back high in the final thirds, and Thiago Silva lost it, and then obviously they got the goal from that. And then the 2 other goals, one was an own goal from a corner, which for me personally, like, I think you got to look at it 2 ways. One, that it might be unavoidable, and 2, that I think you got to be a bit more switched on when the balls like that are coming into the box, or you expect your keeper to come out and maybe, you know, try and catch it, or like just get rid of it in some circumstances. Because I've watched that goal back about maybe 2 times, and I'm thinking, like, I think what you expect more from, I think you should expect the keeper to maybe come out and maybe punch it out or something, you know, just command your area a little bit. You know, when those sort of balls, crosses, you know, deep line crosses are coming in, whipped into the box, you know, normally that's where the goalkeeper normally has to come out and be dominant and maybe try and catch it or something. But, you know, it is what it is. And then the 3rd goal was just another own goal, really. Like, you know, it's just one of those ones. But I do agree, like, I can see what Dan's trying to say. Like, if you look back at what Potter's doing with this formation, at the same time, like from my point of view personally, I think the reason the Potter's trying to do it, I think, is because he doesn't know that he knows that this Chelsea team he's got at the moment isn't very. They haven't got a lot of players that are very multi-dimensional. Like they're very flexible in positions. You know, a lot of these Chelsea players like to play a specific position that suits them, and not for the team. That makes sense. You know, I think that's what he's come to realise now. You know, you're playing like Sterling and that in wing back roles, and they're not wing backs. You know, playing Gallagher and this bit in the midfield. You know, it's a number of things really, but. I think, you know, the Chelsea performance overall from the players, you know, ideally you can't fault that. It's got to be better than that. You know, these players are more than capable to, you know, perform better than that. 100%. You know, some of these players are like World Cup players. You know, World Cup winners, European champion winners. You know, you just expect more from them. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, apart from that, you know, fair credit to Brighton, but. You know, I think for Graham Potter, he needs to go back to the basics, go back to the drawing board, and maybe try and find something that, you know, can nullify Arsenal's strengths and try and make them less of a threat going forward. But you know, if anyone can think of a plan, you know, Potter can do it. But I think he just has to find the right system. In my opinion, but yeah.
Kenny, when you're not talking, that's it. It's on mute now. sorry, Dex. Go. Yeah, anything else, Dex?
No, that's everything. Yeah, no, that's all I've got to say.
Let me ask you something. You're a Liverpool fan, as we all know. I don't see in your fan base, you know, a lot of shouting, Klopp out or anything like that. And us, you know, considering Potter's only lost one game, he's only come to the club. Or is it nearly 2 months? 2 months, say. And already
10 games
people
in.
are screaming.
10 games in already.
Already, wait,
10 games.
Hold on. Well, what I'm saying now. Yeah, and already certain Chelsea fans, especially on the media, social media, are screaming for his head already. What can you say to these fans of us?
I mean,
if you have it to say,
obviously, yeah. I mean, listen. Obviously, the situations are entirely a bit different. You know, we're on a bad run of form. You know, we're inconsistent in games. We have the same we got the same sort of issues that you guys do. We've got injuries and all that. But I think what the difference is that obviously, you know, with us being where we are at the moment, we do expect better, and we expect better from this team. But with Chelsea, like obviously, you know, Graham Potter, he's just coming to the job. He hasn't had a transfer window yet. He hasn't managed to get any of his players in. I think once he starts to get players in, and he tries and implements those players what he wants to do, then you can start judging him on results. But at the moment, I think, you know, the people that are saying, like, you know, for him to go already, like, to be honest, I don't class those people.
You know what, Dex, what I think it's mainly the people who, you know, who wanted Tuchel to stay. I want him to stay as well, but he's gone. Certain things, you know, he went. I didn't want him to get sacked. I wanted him to get the whole season and see where he takes us. But there's a lot of fans out there, even on streams, shows, and everything, that they loving Potter not succeeding because they love Tuchel so much. They want Potter to fail. That's the problem with our fan base.
Yeah, I agree. But as well, like
some of them, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. They would rather see our club lose and get put out. Some of them, a lot of them.
Yeah, but this is this is the thing they've got to realise though. The board made
I don't understand. Go ahead. Yeah,
but this is what I mean. This is what they've got to understand though. The board made a decision. They went with that decision, and you know, they got rid of him. You know, that's what happened. People need to learn and accept that. Obviously, you can go back and say, "Oh, I wish this did happen or didn't happen." Doesn't matter though. You know, football now, in some terms, is a results gains business. You know, if you don't get the results, you know, whatever Tuchel, you know, got back to the summer, and you know, obviously the board looked at it and thought, okay, this isn't working. They went with the decision. Do you know what I mean? It got made. You know, you just got to learn and get on with it. Really, you know, get behind whoever else comes in and see how they do. But yeah, the thing with these so-called fans on social media, pretty much like this is how I sum them up. They're so overreactionary. They do anything to get views or get whatever they want on their Twitter and YouTube channels. They do it all the time. It comes in all sorts of fan base. You know, it's just all noise. You know, you just got to ignore
it. It just makes you know what it is. You know, I remember when there was no Twitter, no Instagram, even no mobile phones like we have now. There was the old mobile phones, yeah. It was a lot easier to support Chelsea without hearing all this disgusting abuse players get and our manager, whoever the manager gets all the time. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Can you answer stuff here? Is saying Dex, I have been on social media. Kepa was getting abused for coming and punching. Now it's he didn't come. The own goals were not high for Kepa to come and command. What do you think? Stav's saying there.
I mean, to be fair to Stav, like I could see where he's coming from. That's a fair comment, but what I'm trying to say is, like, yeah, you can probably argue that the higher the balls, that maybe Kepa could have not maybe done much, but you know, just even like when I say like commanding your box, I mean like as a goalkeeper, you're there to like organise your defence on set pieces, right? Like corners, free kicks, and that. When I saw the goals back from the corner, the Chelsea defence in particular, they were just so unorganised. Like no one was man marking, no one was picking up. And you know, I think, you know, whether or not Kepa did or not, I don't really know, but I think what he should do from his standpoint is maybe try and be a bit more commanding his defence, you know, shouting them, saying,
I don't blame Kepa, the Dex. It was our defence. Well, not the defence are supposed to be left wing backs. They caused all the problems. And the midfield, we didn't have a midfield. Hold on, Kenny, hold on, I'll come into you. They didn't have a midfield. We didn't have a midfield. Loftus-Cheek can't play with cover. He can't play that position. And we was opened up by Brighton. Like I said before, Brighton were hunting us in little packs, 3, 4 players. Every time the ball went near a Chelsea player, or we had the ball, they were soon to get it back. And that's because Sterling was nowhere to be seen, and Pulisic the same. They weren't running back. They were trotting back, I saw them. And that left, that exposed Chalobah and Silva. What could they do? They had to move up. And we were cut to ribbons. I'm glad I hope Paul has realised. I think he has. He took the blame. Let's see what he does for the next game. Well, the next game is Zagreb. We don't have to worry about that because we're through. But let's see what he does against Arsenal, who he picks. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, so we'll cut you off, Dex.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, no, I've finished what I have to say, really.
Yeah. All right, Kenny, let's come to you. What's your opening thoughts and statement, Kenny, about what happened to us?
Yeah, the result was a painful one to take. It was a painful one, not an easy one. But we all know we are still under transition, and we shouldn't expect much. We shouldn't expect much to avoid high blood pressure at the moment. Because what's happening right now is expected. We just changed to a new manager, and he's here to get his kind of players. And at the moment, I still see more of experiment from the coach, trying to get his best 11. But at this point, it's becoming too much. And against Brighton, the tactics he got it all wrong. Yeah, he got the tactic all wrong because within the first 10 to 20 minutes, those people played us just the way Manchester United played us against just the way they played us last time. Uh, when the game started, like we played like as if we are afraid of Brighton, and I don't know the kind of tactics our coach used back three with just three defenders. What happened to Chilwell? Chilwell was expecting because we are lacking in the defense. Okay, now we are playing three-man defense. Then the wing backs. What happened to Chilwell? I was expecting Cucurella, Chalobah, and Silva at the back. Then Chilwell at the left wing back. But now, obviously, we went for just three at the back. Pulisic and Sterling, they are not they are not right and left wing backs. Yeah, it is acceptable when there is nobody to feed out the void. But I was expecting that at the left wing back, Chilwell should be there. Then right wing back with my gamble as the better for Pulisic, which the coach did. But we left spaces too much. It was too much. I was like, we were making mistakes, and although there was Chelsea played at a point, and we don't have a midfield. We only have Kovacic. At first, Kovacic was nowhere. Yeah, when the game started, he was nowhere, but he was one of our best players on that very day with Gallagher. Those two guys performed. Sterling on his own, I don't know if he's afraid to take players on. I don't know. I don't just know what is wrong with Sterling. This is not the Sterling we got from Manchester City. Or could it be that he has lost his confidence totally? Sterling do take players on, but right now he can't even dribble a player. He loses possession. Can't you shoot from outside 18 again? When you go close to 18, shoot. Not when you get there, you start looking at the back to pass ball backward again instead of going forward. There was a pass Sterling could have made to Mount. Rather, he returned the ball.
Kenny, hold on. Your mic's cracking a bit. I can hear you every word you're saying, but at the same time, I think you're talking too loud. Maybe your mic. Try again.
Hey, how is it now?
Yeah.
Is it clear now?
I can hear you. Yeah, clear now. Yeah, go on.
Okay. So I said there was a time we got forward, then Sterling got a chance to. There was Mount in front of, let me say, at the 18 line box there. He could have passed the ball to the mark. One problem with our attackers is that they don't take risk. As an offensive player, an attacker for that, you take risks sometimes. You don't always play safe, and that is one of the reasons why Chelsea are not good going forward. In as much as we don't have midfielders that can create chances from nothing, but the forwards are not helping either. And again, we played an attacking side against a Brighton side. What happened to our two strikers? Why going there with a first nine? You have Aubameyang, you have Broja. Your two striker, your two natural strikers, and started Havertz. During our game against Salzburg, Havertz scored the second goal. But before the goal, Havertz was nowhere. He was the first person I expected to be substituted. Before he scored the second goal that won us the game, I expected Havertz to be the first to be substituted on that match. But he played full 90 minutes. Yeah, I guess he played full 90 minutes. Then this game against Brighton as well. What was Havertz doing there? He was doing nothing. Apart from the goal he scored, what was his contribution? If not just running about. Our attackers are not helping at all. They should be taking risk. That's why I love Mount, and I will always like him no matter what. He takes risk. No matter how you criticize him, maybe he's not getting the goal. But we take risk because at a point, he will get it right. You try yourself, not that you'll be playing safe. And I just feel like maybe these attackers are just playing save not to get
What did
themselves.
Mount do, mate? What did Mount do? What did Mount do that game? He did nothing that game. How can you
How many
criticize
chances?
Havertz?
How
How
many?
can you criticize Havertz for the one goal? Havertz had about 2 or 3 chances, and he did assist. Yeah, already. He controlled it, right? Controlled it from his chest, rolled down to his foot, passed it to Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling could have scored that goal, but decided to lose the bomb and give it to Pulisic. How can you criticise Havertz that game of Brighton? What did Mount do that game? Don't get me wrong, I love Mount, but Mount was poor.
I'm not trying to praise any of those guys because they all performed poorly. This is just like the team as a whole did poorly. I'm not criticizing Havertz alone. I was only saying the obvious. Havertz shouldn't have started that game. In as much as he played a little bit of his we already know his power, we know what he could do. Yeah. But what happened to Broja? If you can't start Aubameyang, start Broja. You can't keep your two number 9 and play a first 9 against a Brighton side.
Kenny,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Kenny, yeah, I know what you're saying, Kenny. Yeah, I know, I understand your point, and I understand what Dan's saying. You know, the thing is, Pollard got it completely wrong with everything. Every single player on that pitch was wrong. That's why we got slaughtered. Hold on. I'll let you come back in, Kenny. Finish. Yeah, that's what happened. It wasn't just Mason Mount. Every single player had a bad game, except Thiago Silva and Chalobah. They done their job. No one else did. For me, yeah. Go ahead, Kenny.
Before they scored their first goal, Thiago Silva made 2 goal-like clearance. During the first time, if these people if they had took their chances, they could have been 5-0 up during the first 45 minutes because they were getting chances. That's because there was no Loftus-Cheek was out of that match totally, like he was lost. And why is it that whenever he's on the ball, he's always guiding the ball instead of making a quick pass? That's one aspect of his game that I don't like sometimes. He's holding the ball too much, guiding the ball. For who? When you get the ball, pass the ball. There are people waiting for you. Make a quick pass. Attack. But when you get the ball, you keep guiding it. And one thing I believe, and one thing I'm seeing about some of all these Chelsea players is just that when they are playing safe, they don't want to get injured because the World Cup is very close. I think maybe they are hoping to be selected for the World Cup stuff, and it's not helping the club at the moment. Do the work you were asked to do. Now that will merit your World Cup chances. Not you playing safe, not to get injured. Our defense, Chalobah, Silva, and Cucurella was a bit lost. He was lost. The whole team was lost. Yeah, let me say the whole team. But Cucurella, he was lost on that game, and I expected as Liqueta to come out early, even Schuwer. But Schuwer, the game we just got everything wrong, and we have to fix this as quick as possible. Yeah, I won't blame Potter at the moment. I won't blame him because we are having injury crisis. Some of our key players out, especially in that right wing position. James and Fofana out injured. I think it's affecting us. But it's high time Potter should at least lay his hands on the first 11 that's capable of winning in games. You can't be experimenting doing all matches. Yeah, just use
Kenny. Yeah, Kenny. We can't blame Pollard too much. He's lost one game. All right, it was a bad 4-1 defeat. Very bad. I didn't like it. But he's learning. He's learning with these players. Don't forget, he hasn't got his own players. He's experimenting, like you said. Maybe he shouldn't, because he doesn't know. He said it himself. Kanté, Reece James, Fofana. Who else we have out? Koulibaly, hopefully he's back. you know, he can't do much. He has to play the players we have in the first team. He's tried Chukwuemeka, brought him on. He tried Broja, brought him on. But he's a big risk to go put them from the start. That's what I think he's thinking. That's why he doesn't want to experiment too much. But you have to give him time. Okay. Thanks, Kenny, for that. Let me just read a few comments. Kenny, let me just read a few. We come back to you as well. Let's welcome Bobby as well here. Bobby, I'll come to you in a second. Just read a few stuff. Stav is making some comments here. None of the midfield and three up top are really defenders. In truth, we had 7 attackers. Completely. That's what went wrong. They were all attackers. Completely agree. What else do you say? Potter's wing-backs are a different thing to Tuchel's. They are wingers with defensive duties. Secondary, you rarely saw him or Pulisic track back. We didn't see them at all. There was a running back, they were trotting back. That's what killed us. They left us wide open. Chalobah and Silva, but they had to move forward because they were, because Pulisic and Sterling were nowhere to seen. I don't know what they were doing. And for me, he got it wrong. He should have taken both off at half time, but he didn't. He left them on still. He got it completely wrong. But at least he admitted it. Let's go to you, Bobby. How are you, Bobby?
Hey, hi guys. Hi, Nick.
Hi. A lot of frustration here, and all week, we've been on Spaces. Everyone's frustrated, calling for heads to be chopped off. It's not that bad. You know what I said today? I texted a message on Twitter, and I said, look, this is nothing. You fans out there, you great Chelsea fans out there all over the world, you have to give it time, because Bobby, it's not just a new team we're trying to build. We're trying to build a new club. Not a new club, I mean Chelsea Football Club, but under Bowley, it's like a new club. It doesn't happen overnight. It's going to take time. But a lot of our fan base, they have no patience, like me or you. I know you do, and I know fans like Max and stuff. They have patience because we all seen the bad times. This lot of fans, they haven't seen no bad times, and that's why I think that's a problem with our fan base. Go. I'll let you talk, Bobby.
I mean, I can understand the frustration about the result. You're right. I mean, it's not a matter of getting rid of the manager and all that sort of thing. That's extreme. But is it acceptable? No. He did get his tactics terribly wrong, which for the manager we want him to be, or we hoped he is not acceptable, and he needs to get his act together. But it's not all down to him. Although, with the players you have, you can do a lot better. But I still think that the club really needs to invest in the playing staff. That's where the problem is. No depth. I think Tuchel, I think Potter sort of panicked a little bit. He knows he has no defenders anymore, apart from the ones that he used in the Champions League. If we take stock and look at, the perspective of this, I think we have like 5 key players out injured. That would affect anybody. Libali, Reece James, Kante alone, the major players for Chelsea. Did I say 5? Okay, 3. Maybe I exaggerated.
4. We have 4. Yeah.
4.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
So
I agree with you. Yeah, go. Sorry.
So, you know, all these other clubs that are, you know, beating their chest, they need to remember that. There is something about that that gives me some concern, because it just seems to me that every season Chelsea has key players out injured. That's a little odd. You know, there's always, you know, past 3 seasons, we've always had Reece James having something somewhere along the season. It is odd, but it is what it is. We have to invest in squad depth. We shouldn't have let some of the academy graduates we had go. But, you know, what's done is done. My only prayer now is that that's why I say Potter has to buck his ideas up. We've got to get back to winning ways before the World Cup. I think we've got 3 more games to go. And he has to dip into the depth of his squad and use these players properly in order to get the results that we so desperately need.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, it's very hard times for us. But, you know, there's worse, it could be worse. In the end, you know, he's lost 1 game. It was a bad result. 4-1 is hard to take. But don't forget, last season we lost 4-1 at home to Brentford. That was, I don't know, in a way that didn't matter because of the protests that day. But still, he's learning. He's at a big club for the first time in his career. So I'm willing to give him 2 years, whatever he does. If he wins anything, it's a bonus. But, you know, we have to be patient. We waited how long for the first trophy at this club? You know, for the first title, 50 years we had to wait. So you know, people can't even wait 2 weeks now. That's what I don't understand. Yeah, go ahead, Bobby, if you have a... Bobby, are you finished with that?
Yeah, I'm done.
All
You're quite right. Although, you know, I look forward, I wouldn't like to wait another 50 years for anything.
No, I don't think that will happen
you know,
again. No,
but,
because we're going to be over 100.
yeah, but, you know, I think there is perspective. You're right. He's only lost 1 game. He's only come here. He's only just got here. He came here with a remit, with a you know, with a job to do, and he's basically just started the job. I just think this should be a huge slap in the face for him, because let's have it right. This was a humiliation, and I hope he learns from it. Well, he has to learn from it because this is Chelsea Football Club. He has no choice.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, great points, Bobby, as always. Let me just bring on Max. Hold on 1 second. Let me bring on Max in as well. Welcome, Max. Welcome to the Blue Stamp. Thanks for coming along. We've been discussing a lot of things. You know what my take, we were talking on Spaces yesterday. What I've been saying, we have to give it time. It's simple as that. We have no choice but to give it time. Let's see who he can bring in. Let's see, what he does with these players he can get. And then we can judge after. You know, we can't shout for him screaming, he has to go and all this rubbish. That's no good. It's not good for the club either. Mainly that's what we've been talking about. I'll let you come in, Max. What's your thoughts? I know some of your thoughts. I heard you on your channel.
Yeah.
Welcome. What's your thoughts on everything?
Yeah. As I was saying yesterday, it's something that we need to be patient with, as you said, Nick, as well. It's a progression, and what I want to see, I always like to see what's happening with progression. If there's nothing happening and you don't see anything changing after 5 or 6 months, then that's the time for you to start questioning things. But this guy's only been in the door 2 months, and the thing is, Yeah, it's always going to be people with their agendas. And obviously, some people didn't want him in the first place. There's people who didn't want Tuchel to go. So they were just looking for this defeat. And we've got a weird fan base, really, where they're just waiting for someone to fail so they can just jump on the back of them and show no support. And I think a lot stems from, I think the likes of, as I said, I don't want to sort of belittle anyone on here, but the likes of yourself, Bobby, and people like that who've been around the club for a while, we've been through the rough and the smooth. So, remember when Vialli and Hullet, when we started to get a bit of success, then we had to go through a period of rebuild because a lot of the players were becoming a bit older, and so we brought in Ranieri. So with Ranieri, we had 4 years without any trophies. But you can argue that he kind of built the framework for that Jose Mourinho team, because if you look at two of the mainstays in that team, two things that he did at that time, he brought in John Terry ahead of Frank Leboeuf. He brought in Lampard ahead of Petit. Okay, and that's what you see in a rebuild. You see the old phased out, the new coming in. So you don't want, and you look at Pep Guardiola. He's doing that with Man City. He got rid of. You always have to refresh your squad. So he got rid of Sterling. He got rid of Jesus, two of their mainstay players. But you know what? He says, you need to rebuild sometimes. Ferguson did that as well. He always freshened up his squad because they'll go still. And I think the problem that we have at the moment, and it will be worked on, but it can't be done in one window. It's going to be done over 2 or 3 windows. Is where we start to get rid of some of these players who've been around the club, growing stale for quite a while, and bringing in other players. And I'm sure Bobby's mentioned this already as well. It's about having that squad, that strength in depth. Some of them we had to rebuild this season. So I'm not really having a go at Bowley like some people have, because this season, because we didn't, the mistakes which were made by not renewing the contracts of Rudiger and Christensen earlier, we had to replace those players. So this transfer market was about replacing players who were leaving. So we couldn't do that. We couldn't just put 11 in, 11 out in one go. So it's a phase, and so obviously the one of the mistakes I think we did make there was letting the likes of Ampadu go, because Ampadu would have offered us that midfield strength. He could have played as centre back as well. So what you got rid of a 2-in-1 player, someone who could have filled in at the back.
We let them go because Tuchel didn't fancy them, did he? That was his
exactly.
mistake.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So we got a holding midfielder and a centre back in there. Okay, he would have been a squad player, but now that we see with all the injuries, he would have come in. Look at Chalobah now. Chalobah, if Tuchel had his way, would have been worse situation than we are now, because he wanted to zone Chalobah. Yeah, but it was Bowley who said no, we're going to keep this guy. Can you imagine what would have happened to be? Yeah. So sometimes you need that squad depth. You need to have that squad depth, and we didn't address the right back situation as well, which was criminal. No, I'd have let Asper go. That's the thing. Taking big decisions. Let Asper go, because he's now coming up towards the end of his career, and you replace him with somebody who's more adept to play that right wing back role, but what Potter should be doing, he can't be making the same mistakes as some of the other managers, because what he's doing is playing it's the round peg square holes. If you haven't got the personnel, you've got to go back to a 4 at the back. You don't play 3 at the back if you haven't got the personnel. So you've got people like Cucurella. Well, I'm not knocking Cucurella because I heard that he was ill as well. He's tonsillitis or something, so he's not. But for me, he's kind of out of his. He's not a left centre back, and that shows at the moment. So don't play him in that position. Revert back to a back 4. That's what we need to do. But it's a rebuild that if we couldn't do what we were doing before, with this quick fix all the time, and it's always let's buy our way out of trouble. Let's get a new manager. It worked for a time, and we are, as I said, we were still competitive with winning trophies. But what it's done, we've fallen away in the league, and that's what's happened. We've fallen away in the league because of that, because that's not a sustainable model. If you want a sustainable model, you have to build and get a philosophy and build from there. Because Man City, you can see now they took what we did. They looked at our model, took what we did, and they made it better. And exactly. they haven't made a mistake of letting some of their players grow stale. He's got rid of the players at the right time, make tough decisions sometimes, and brought in players, and that's why they've remained competitive. And the final point I want to make as well, sometimes I know, I loved Roman, but sometimes he was, people say he was a harsh businessman, but I think he was sometimes a bit too sentimental. And I think a lot of times sentiment got in the way, because if you look at, I'm not sure if you guys heard Drogba saying that, Bowley's a cold businessman because he got rid of all this staff, I think medical staff and physios and whatever. But if you look at the issue at the moment, we're getting far too many injuries. We are getting way too many injuries. So that's probably been ignored because he just doesn't want to get rid of these guys. But Bowley, what he's trying to do is look at the setup from top to bottom, and he's saying, you know what, we need to get in good physios, good medical staff, because we can't be always having these injuries season in, season out. And getting a new scouting system and technical director and everything else. So he's kind of trying to rebuild a club to make it into a club that is quite sustainable for future. And that takes time. So
for sure.
Yeah. So that's what I've got to say at the moment.
Okay, great comments, Max. I mean, we just have to give it time. Roman was very sentimental. If you remember the players he brought in, because he liked a particular player. Kenny, can you go put your mic on mute? Kenny? That's better. Roman was very sentimental. I remember, when he brought in Shevchenko, sorry, because he fancied him. He brought Avram Grant because he wanted to give him a chance to manage. A lot of stuff he done. But overall, he done unbelievable for the club. So that's why I don't blame him for nothing. Yeah. Let's welcome Certify as well. Certify, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good, we hear you.
Yeah.
I know what you've been saying on Twitter Spaces, like we all have this week. We've been going crazy. But
I was annoyed.
Now we had a few days to calm down a bit. What do you take? What's your take on everything? Go
on. I will start from that Salzburg game. All we can learn from this Brighton game is that we cannot judge our team just because of a Champions League win. Do you get what I'm saying? I predicted this all day long. Because we have players that waste time on the ball, especially the centre backs who take ages to get a decision, make a decision to pass. You know what I'm saying? They invite pressure. The thing is, Salzburg weren't pressing as effectively. And in that Brighton game, I watched Match of the Day, and people who do live in the UK, like we all do in this space at the moment, will know their match analysis is very good. And I see where Chelsea struggled. You see how this slow decision making affects us when teams counter press us. Do you get what I'm saying? And what Brighton did was very effective. No wonder why we were able to score 2-1 goals. It was because Brighton made us do it. Do you get what I'm saying? And if they had tucked away most of their chances they had in the first 5 minutes, imagine the score would have been 7-6-0. 6-1.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And what I did realize is that when I looked at Brighton as well, the way they pressed us is that although one player does fail to press, beat, win the ball from the press, they still have another body hoping to retain the ball, and it worked. Do you get what I'm saying? Our players were fooled by the second man that were going to press them. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and this is not the only game this has happened. If you look at the times we played Brentford as well, do you get what I'm saying? And the way our midfield was able to lose the ball, Gallagher was able to lose the ball, and therefore the opposition team will beat us in transition. Chelsea are one of the teams, I think, the teams that get beaten most in the Prem in transition. The thing is, we don't realize that because we have a great goalkeeper. Do you get what I'm saying? But let's be honest, Potter's football is attractive. And the key to such attractive football and attacking football, your defense has got to be vulnerable. And I've realized it as well. Do you think Arsenal's defense is vulnerable at times? The thing is this: their defenders have the quality to defend 1-on-1. I'm not saying our players don't, but it's just quite obvious. Even when you've been watching Liverpool in their times when they were succeeding, you can say their football is attractive, attacking football, but let's be honest, their defense is vulnerable. Do you get what I'm saying? Even in like, I don't know if you'd realized, but it's as it says, we just need to get in the players. Really, it's more about getting in the players. Chelsea and Liverpool suffer things that we already suffer, and that's a weak midfield, and that's costing our defense. Which I understand why people are saying Chelsea cannot play this attacking football. Chelsea cannot play this 4 at the back 4-2-3-1, because if the midfield is not good, we're going to be leaking goals. Do you get what I'm saying? Our attacking football will be good, but when the opposition team have the ball, we'll get beat in transition because our midfielders are not defensive minded at all. Let's all be honest. Maybe the one you can say is Jorginho, but then you can also say Jorginho's physicality is not as great for the Prem. Do you get what I'm saying? But in this instance, I could say that he was a player that should have played against Brighton, because I do think we could have had a bit more of the control of the midfield. Do you get what I'm saying? Maybe a bit of control, but I do think if Jorginho wants to play this game, I still don't see us winning. Do you know what I'm saying? There's still lots of problems. Going to the attack, we have wingers who cannot even beat at least just one player to save their life. Sterling, he couldn't do that. Mason Mount, as much as we love to praise him, let's be honest, he wasn't good at either. And there was a great point someone said on the Twitter space. I think I don't really want to say if it was King Black. It was King Black that said, when we were pressing, when we were we were off possession, our ball pressing from the front wasn't good enough. Do you get what I'm saying? And it came from that left-hand side more. And most of the play built it up from that left-hand side. Because Sterling wasn't able to press. Do you get what I'm saying? He's that player. He did press on the City, but I don't know what's happened here. And Havertz is very, very slow at running. Do you get what I'm saying? So therefore, his press won't even be that effective if you guys watch Havertz properly. So and Mason Mount tries, but then let's be honest, off the ball, his decision making is poor on the ball. Mason Mount. Do you get what I'm saying? This is not the only game. He does this all the time. Do you get what I'm saying? And you got players of different abilities, different attitudes, and Pulisic wasn't great and good enough as well starting. Like, this is a team failure. Do you get what I'm saying? Off this cheek, I don't know what he was doing. He looked like he was running around like a headless chicken. Bro, like,
the thing is, Certified, we were bad, but Brighton made us look very bad. Because you see
Yeah, I
the
know.
way every time with the ball was near a Chelsea player, they were there, 3 of them. When we had the
Exactly.
ball, 3 or 4 of
Did you
them,
see the
wow,
amount of passes
they were
Casado
playing,
managed to pick?
they were playing like we used to play. That's what we
Yeah.
used to do. Don't let the other team breathe. If we
Did
don't
you see,
play like Brighton did on Sunday, we're going to lose. We have
Nick?
to
Did you
be
see
like
the
we
way?
were. Yeah.
Did you see the way
So,
Casado was able to pick out 4 or 5
mm,
passes, almost leading to goals from that right hand side, especially? I
yeah.
don't know why we were playing. This is where I always have to blame Potter. We can't be playing wingers as wing backs. Do you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
like
The
Stav
reason why,
said before, he wasn't here. We had 7 attackers on the pitch.
yeah,
Where was our defense? It was Chalobah and Silva. That was our
and
defense.
then Loftus Cheek was kind of getting told to play as a defensive and to
Exactly.
defend as well, and he
He's
can't
not on
defend.
form. Even when he was on the left wing attacking, he wasn't on form.
Yeah,
Potter has to wake up, and then whoever's not on form, don't play them. Don't
exactly.
do what two doing. That's what I keep
And the
saying.
reason why Potter was that type of
Mm,
tactic was able to thrive at Brighton is because, let's be honest, if you look at that Brighton team under Potter, you would name which player, what is his natural position? You wouldn't know. And he still played
mm,
and he still played great no matter what position they play in. Do you get what I'm saying? Let's be honest.
yeah.
I looked at McAllister. Even till now, I'm confused on how does he play? Where does he play? And he still does it well. He's a great player, but I don't know how he plays. Trossard is a left winger, we know that. But then we can say he can play as a wing back as well. Do you get what I'm saying? And he's able to retrieve the ball. Do you know what I'm saying? I think
And
Potter,
and then Certified, who made them? What they are now. Who made them?
Graham
Graham
Potter,
Potter.
exactly.
So
And
he
he
was
got
so
this by
crazy.
time because he
Yeah,
was given time. It was he was
of
given time.
course, he needs time. He needs time just to get his own players. It's too early, 2 months in, to judge anything. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think the reason why people do this is because people have this syndrome. I was speaking to someone that
Mm,
I know. He's a Chelsea fan as well. And he admitted that it could be the curse of, I don't know if you know, but English
mm.
managers have not really succeeded a lot in the days.
Yeah,
Most of
it's
them have.
true.
And they have that phobia. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm.
Maybe they doubting Graham Potter could be a bottler, and
It's
that
too early
person,
to say that,
this
really.
person exactly,
Just to look
this
at
person.
Eddie Howe at Newcastle. Well, he's
That's
English.
the thing. That's the thing. And he got given time.
It's
And
too
this is
early
the
to say that, really. Yeah,
yeah. Let me finish.
for Graham
Let me
Potter,
finish.
it's too early. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, and the person I was talking to, he was English, and it was surprising coming off because I wasn't really thinking that, but then I was like, what? Then I can understand why. But the person I spoke to was an Chelsea fan, and he was saying is sometimes English managers tend to bottle stuff. Look at Southgate.
Mm.
Most of the English managers nowadays manage the small teams. If you look at what's his name from Burnley that got sacked, Sean Dyche. I don't know if
Sean
he's
Dyche,
English.
Sean Dyche.
Yeah, and then
But
you look at Eddie
he done
Howe.
wonders for Burnley. Sean Dyche was a great manager.
He
He
was a
done
great
wonders
manager.
for,
That's the thing. He just needed
you
a
know,
better team.
he's waiting. He will get another opportunity. I heard
Yeah,
him talk the other day. He's not rushing any job right now, but when the right one comes, he's waiting for another Premiership job. He
yeah.
will
The
get
thing
one.
is, the reason
Mm,
why they don't get time, the reason why they don't win a lot of things, because they don't get the time. When they're at a big club, they instantly get sacked. Do you know what I'm saying? They don't get the time to build. Unlike other
mm,
managers like Arteta, he came in, he was not even a manager at all. Let's be honest. People say he's been picking up cones in training and cleaning the training ground. People will say
mhm.
that, but it took him time. Because people know
Yeah,
as well that even in this current generation of footballing managers that the Spanish are most likely to be achieving. I've been achieving more other European it was a point also said on Twitter as well. Like European coaches other than the English coaches are given more time because of their history of one urging these players to win. Do you know what I'm saying? And them having this cultural background and Italian everything. But in England, a person did point out as well. This is not what I'm saying. A person did point out that in England we have a footballing fan base that praises its own culture even in the failure. Do you get what I'm saying? When even when, for example, Lampard, for instance, was here when he wasn't doing that well, people will not point out his like negatives, such as he never took accountability for his tactics and he only blamed players. Although that wasn't the case, people go on and hate this player, or I hate Rudiger and this and that. Remember, and all of that, and yeah, and even a match of the day, we see the biasness in like you get what I'm saying?
Certain pundits. Yeah,
Certain
we see it in
pundits,
Alan
the English bias.
Shearer. We see it in all of them. Yeah, they all got their genders. Most of them hate Chelsea. I don't like to say who. If there's anyone for me who's more level-headed on that match of the day is Ian Wright. Ian Wright, who I always used to boo when he was playing for Arsenal because he was such a great player, used to kill us every time we played them. He was Ian Wright. Max will remember. But according to when they're talking about Chelsea, he talks more sense than Alan Shearer will ever do in his life. I will never forget Alan Shearer for saying what he said about Roman Abramovich. I will never forget that. He said a lot of things. He said it was because of Roman Abramovich that that war started. What a thing to say on live TV. I will never forget him. Him and what's his name? Gallagher of Liverpool.
He needs to look at his own club, don't he?
Ex-player.
He needs to look at his own club, Saudi, and what they're doing.
Jamie Carragher, Max. You know what he said, don't you? Do you remember what you said about Roman?
Yeah, but I'm saying he needs to
another
concentrate on his own club. Alan Shearer,
Yes,
because they're owned by the Saudis.
God, Alan Shearer, what a biased sod he is. I thought he was good at one time, but he's not. He's
just bitter. He's bitter because of Newcastle haven't won.
He hates us so much. Yeah, you're right. You never won nothing.
Yeah. Wait, can I just say something?
Okay, sorry, sir. Yeah, now carry on, sir. Finish your point.
Yeah,
and
so let's get off the English thing. So I do think Graham Potter needs a lot of time, and I don't want people to judge him more because he's English. Do you get what I'm saying? He could be the first English manager to win a Champions League or Premier League. You don't know that. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I just wish there was a lot of other fan bases your age. I know you're young, who would talk the same because they don't. A lot of them are really, quick to judge. Let's hang him up there. Let's do that. You hear it yourself. But yeah, great comments, I must say.
And I do think he needs the players he needs. But I think Potter and Tuchel, the reason why Tuchel bought these players is because they were very versatile. Do you get what I'm saying? But versatile in a way, in their actual role. Like Raheem Sterling can play anywhere in the attack. He's not a wing back. Do you get what I'm saying? Cucurella can play centre back at times, but then he's really a left wing back or a left back. Do you get what I'm saying? And we don't have many versatile players at Chelsea. Let's be honest. Koulibaly can't play in a back three.
We don't, because we have all these injuries. Our main 4 players are out, and we need them back as soon as possible. Reece James and that. But we have to go. Hopefully, January we find another right wing back. a midfielder. We need a proper DM. Let's see who's available. We don't know, but I know Bowley, you know, he wants success. He wants it as soon as possible. He said it so many times. You know, he wants to win. And I'm sure he will. So all of us here will, except Dex, who's a Liverpool fan. Yeah. So we have to be patient. Yeah, go on. Whoever's, anyone can go on, Dan, if you want.
Yeah, can I just address? I just want to address some of certified points.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, the Brighton game. The reason why Brighton were out for that game is because obviously Potter left them for a bigger club. So these players are going to say, look, I'm going to show the manager, you know, and Potter should have known that. They're going to come out guns blazing, you know. They haven't won a game in four matches before coming to Chelsea, but you knew that this match is going to be the one that every single one of their players was going to be up for it. And with that in mind, I think going with such an attacking lineup was a suicide for me. You know, what he should have done is, you know, gone with. Okay, we've got injuries, but we play a 4-3-3 maybe, and let's play more counter-attacking because we knew that Brighton were going to come at us hard and fast. Let's silence the crowd because the crowd was obviously going to be, you know. Yeah. They're going to be
and
up
you hear,
for it as well.
Heard the crowd; they were up for it.
Everyone was up for it.
Abuse he got,
and you silence. Yeah. Everyone knows you go into a place as hostile as that because of the situation. You silence the crowd in the first 20-25 minutes. Then you start playing your football. To play with that formation, which was so open, it was ridiculous. And then to give them the initiative so early on, we're always in for a hiding for nothing. And what the manager, Brighton manager, is quite interesting, the points he said, because what he said is that the way they prepared the game was to go one-on-one there. The Mitoma was one-on-one with Chalobah, and you had Solimarch was one-on-one with Cucurella, and they weren't going to let them settle. So it was interesting what Certified said, where he's obviously identified the fact that we take too many touches on the ball. So he wanted to press us and force us into errors, which they did do. You know, they forced us all into errors, and we weren't really in the races. We weren't winning off 50-50s, and we were all over the park. We were the players had the better of all our players in the sort of one-on-one duels. As far as Loftus-Cheek, I always said with Loftus-Cheek, he's a player who's not going to be giving. You can't play 4 or 5 matches consistently well. His body doesn't allow him to do that. He's had injuries since he was a kid. So you know, I rate him as a squad player. You know, somebody who plays the odd game now and again or comes on as a sub. But when you're playing 8 or 9 games this season, he's played an awful lot of games, and now you're seeing it with his body. He just didn't have that physical strength to compete yesterday, and that midfield was the issue as well. So you put that midfield, you know, we don't have a defence. If you haven't got, if you're playing 3 at the back and two wingers as wing backs, you need strong holding players in the middle. Our midfielders didn't show any discipline whatsoever. You know, Loftus-Cheek was looking like a lost puppy in that game. As good as Kovacic is, and I do like Kovacic, he's not a disciplined holding midfielder. He does all this dribbling and everything else, but he wasn't holding that position as well. So it was too easy for Brighton to breach our back line, and it wasn't for Silva. Okay, Silva made a mistake earlier, but yeah, those two.
Yeah, he made a mistake, but
yeah,
you know, we didn't have any midfield for me. Those invisible.
Yeah,
Max.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and that's the
Mm.
problem we have to sort out.
Exactly. Yeah, and I don't even think Jorginho would have made a difference. Neither. You know, he
Maybe,
would have given us a bit more control in possession.
He would have done a little bit,
but,
I think, more. Kova and Jorginho can play good together.
Yeah, but the thing is, the way
Ruben
that
can't.
Brighton were, yeah, by the way Brighton were pressing us, when teams press us really hard and fast, because he's not physical. He does sometimes lose those battles when teams come at you and press you.
He's not a physical player. He knows
that's
how
probably
to control.
why.
Yeah,
he doesn't have to control,
had a knock.
but
that's why he didn't play.
And
you're right what you're saying.
And if they had targeted they targeted those two, like they targeted those two defenders, they would have probably put, because they know that he controls our midfield. They'd have probably put somebody on him to stop him from gaining that control. And as I said, we've seen what happens when he's pressed aggressively. But what was the other point I was going to make? There was another point I was going to make about. I can't remember what it was now. But it as we've all said, it is a work in progress, and
exactly
it will come. It's going to take time, but this window, what is good is because the window is going to be coming earlier. We've got the World Cup, which is coming at the right time, I think, for us as well, and to allow us to recharge our batteries. If we can get in another body, particularly in the middle of the park, for the second half of the season, then And the other point, sorry, that's the point. I remember what the point was. What I make now. What we've got to remember with Potter, he maybe need a little bit more time, because if you look at Brighton played. No, they weren't involved in Europe, so they were only playing one game a week. So he's got the whole week to implement his philosophy on the training ground. The reason why Arsenal are playing so well this season is last season they had no Europe. So again, Arteta had a whole week to implement his playing style. Remember, they got the only cup they got. I think it was only the League Cup that they had. It
happened with us
early in the FA Cup.
Why didn't we win the league
under
Conte? Because we didn't have Europe.
That's it. We didn't have Europe.
We didn't have Europe that season. That was the first time we didn't make top four, and we won the league. It tells
exactly.
It needs time.
And he switched from a back four to a back three, and the way that we implemented that so quickly and seamlessly was because we can work on it every single day with repetitions and things like that. So that it can.
So we mustn't judge Pollard too rashly. We mustn't.
That's what I'm saying, because he's come in. He's not got his own players in. This is because of the work being a World Cup year. Every single week we've had a game, a midweek game, a game, a midweek game. So he's not being able. So when you think when we're traveling as well in Europe, you're going to have that rest and recovery day as well. So he's not going to be able to implement. Styles and are made on the training pitch. The way you play it's fine tuned on the training pitch. He hasn't had that time on the training pitch to do that. It's maybe a good thing that we're playing Man City in the League Cup, because they'll probably knock us out. So hopefully that will give us some time to a few weeks.
I don't want them to knock us out.
I want us to win everything.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'll get your meaning. I know.
So if they do, at least we'll have a few weeks where we can actually have a full week on the training ground. Because even after the World Cup, it's going to be like this all season. So we're not going to probably see the best of Potter till next season. Because when you think after the World Cup, we're going to be having a game every midweek games as well. Because we're going to have that month because they even said that we're going to be struggling to fit that Liverpool fixture in, because the fixture list is so tight as it is, and obviously we had the Queen's death as well, which was giving you two other fixtures that have got to be shoehorned in somewhere. So it's going to be a difficult season. So I think if we can somehow get top four for this season, then give him the pre-season, give him next season, where hopefully we'll have some.
It's not gonna happen, mate.
Full weeks.
It's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
So
it's not gonna happen.
What's that?
That ain't gonna happen.
What's not gonna happen?
We ain't finishing top four this season, mate.
This season.
That's why I said hopefully. We don't know.
We don't know. No, hopefully, it's not, mate. Well, no, the Potter system, right? Potter system. It seems to be shaky. He doesn't know what he's doing for a minute at the club. With the Brighton game, it looked like we were a pub team, but with Potter situation, what he's been into the club, it's in a way we see a bit of ticky-tacky football, but there's a bit of out of ticky-tacky football. After the Salzburg game, when Nick came, when I was doing that watch long, Nick, I told you, and JK, certified, came into my show on Salzburg watch long last week, Wednesday, Champions League. I said to him, if we play this formation, against Brighton, we're going to get dominated. And we did. The format, the team, the tool, what he bring out, that ain't a strength for competition team. We should have had a strong team out that day, right? So we could beat Brighton, so we could be level in the top three with Spurs. Because when Tottenham were down 2-0 to Bournemouth, they bring back fire and spirit. We didn't have none of that against Brighton. It just not make sense. Kind of gotta go out front. Having Rubens Loftus-Cheek in the middle and two wingers ain't defensive. That's why they destroyed us. And he should have had Albion. He should have got Albion that game. Right? He should have done the 4 at the back with Albion quitter. Because as you know, when it comes to 4 at the back against Salzburg, in the second half, we had the same formation. We was getting destroyed against Salzburg. They're lucky they didn't score 3 or 4 goals. But when he changed it up and put Albion and changed it to a 4 at the back, we was a spirit team that we kept that win in that league. This is our fans base are doing, making it excuse for the club. All right.
It's not an excuse.
All right, let me land.
Yeah, go ahead, Dan. Yeah.
All right, because I haven't spoken for ages, and
go ahead.
About it. What I put on Twitter earlier in the group, Nick, what you saw, everything I said about it is true facts, right? We cannot make an excuse for Potter. He just came in, hasn't had enough time to train the players for 3 weeks. He hasn't had a week off to do the training system. It's coming up World Cup. It's not an excuse, right? The players we've got, are meant to be quality and meant to be playing at that thing. But it's time for them. Like, they've played cups. We qualified for the Champions League, for God's sake, right? They were playing as a team in the Champions League against AC Milan. We dominated AC Milan 2 games, home and away. They were playing as a team. This game against Brighton, they looked like it was shady. Did not play as a team. Didn't know who his players were off the pitch and on the pitch. Potter is changing the formation.
Problem with Brighton, we didn't start. We didn't start from the beginning. We didn't start at all.
No,
we just let Brighton come on to us. We didn't start.
Dan, can I just say something? And then you can carry on. And the difference is you can't compare the 2 Milan games. The difference is we had Reece James in both those games, and we had Koulibaly. We've our back line's been decimated. It's not excuses, it's facts. I'm not one to make up excuses, but these are facts. Trevor
Chalobah was unbeaten for 32 games, and that game he wasn't with it, right? We've got Aspilicueta, right, who could play them kind of games against Brighton. Brighton are not a big team. All right? Brighton's not a big team.
The way Brighton came out at us, even if Aspie was on the pitch, it wouldn't have stopped them from killing us. I'm telling you. They wanted it more than us.
We wouldn't know that, mate. We wouldn't know that if we wouldn't know that.
Yeah, we don't know for sure, but I'm just saying
we don't know that.
For me, he should have started in the defense because we didn't have.
Yeah.
We just had Chalobah and Silva, and that didn't work. We should have had a back four from the beginning.
Yeah, Thiago Silva, right? He was tired. He was knackered that game, yeah? He made mistakes.
He was tired, but he still done his job.
Who would you have played?
Who would I have played? All right, for start, put Brojo on, right, for that game, right, or Aubameyang, or no, rest West Aubameyang for like in a day because if he was a West Aubameyang for the big game, mainly really a big game in a Champions League against Salzburg because in a day we're qualified anyway, right? I would have put Aubameyang on, had Raheem Sterling, right, in a Pulisic there, then have Kai Havertz in the middle, right, in the middle between the three. Then had Jorginho on for that game. Who cares? Like Jorginho he weren't tired, he weren't injured.
Yeah, he was
Put
injured.
the damn guy on. He wasn't injured.
But he was injured, Dan. He was injured.
Who told you that one, Nick? Who said he was injured?
What?
Who said he was injured?
He was. He had a knock. That's why
he
he didn't start. The Paula said he was injured.
All right.
Otherwise, he would have started.
We'll put Chumareku on. Right, even though he weren't there yet, let's have Sakurai on for that game. Put Sakurai on.
But we don't.
Let's see what he's about.
Yeah, but why is he not playing? There must be a reason why Zachariah is not playing. There must be a reason.
Potter said that he's in his plans, right, to have games, but he's not playing him. And
but there must be a reason. When we got a holding midfielder and he's not playing, there must be a reason for it. They wouldn't.
Why do you sign it? Why sign it then if he ain't going to get picked?
He was a panic buy at the end of the day. That's what same as Sal.
It wasn't a panic buy.
It was a panic buy. How can you say it wasn't a panic buy when he wasn't in our plans?
It was a panic buy.
Went out and bought him 2 hours before the window closed.
Okay, so so why get him in the first place in the transfer on loan? Because there was
a panic buy because we wanted a holding midfielder. We couldn't get one, and we went out for Alvarez from Ajax. We couldn't get him. We looked at the guy at PSV. What's the guy at PSV? I can't remember his name. Sangare. Yeah. So we looked at him, and then
we looked at a lot, but we couldn't get.
We were looking at a lot of people, and then we just got him.
Tuchel's decision was to bring in Zakaria as a panic buy. It was a panic buy. We don't know what's going on right now. He's on the bench every game. We don't know.
Okay, right, Nick. I want to ask that question in your chat. Yeah, right. He was said, who would you? I didn't say right. I would had on Kepa, Aspie, Chalobah, Thiago Silva, because that's only the most choice centre backs we've got. Ben Chilwell, right? Ben Chilwell on, because Cucurella for a minute he ain't good at centre back. I don't want him at centre back. He's better at left wing back, and he looked like he was tired. So had him off.
So you answered your question. Sorry, you answered one question about Silva though, because you said Silva's tired, but we had to play him. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying to you that game he was tired, but he still did his job.
He wasn't tired.
He made mistakes.
He did his job, but he made a few mistakes as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he made mistakes, but he
made up for them, man. Max. Dan, hold on. Dan, let me just say this, Dan. Hold on. Yeah, Thiago Silva. Don't forget he was rested, wasn't he, against Salzburg? Did he? I don't think he played. He was fresh.
He played.
Ready to go.
He played that game.
Did he play? I forgot. Anyway,
he played that game.
He played that game. He was ready. The guy's a machine. And if it wasn't for Thiago Silva saving those two off the line headers, would have been
that's what I was saying to you. That's what I said to you because of them two. Because he passed that ball a mistake, and then he stopped that. Make sure that goal didn't go in, right?
Yeah. But the first goal was his fault. Yeah, the first goal was his fault only, not the.
I would have gone at the three. I would have gone 4. Yeah, 3 at the centre mid. Yeah, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Mason Mount and Kovacic, in the front 3, Then have Sterling, right? If you're not going to play Bojo or Aubameyang, have Sterling, Havertz, then have Pulisic. Or Pulisic on the left and Sterling on the right. That's what he's...
Yeah, I wouldn't have had Sterling in the team. I would have had Aubameyang to start. Pulisic on the bench to come on as a bench player. That's what he can do. He can't play good enough for 90 minutes. For me, he got it right. He admitted he got everything wrong completely. Every single position was wrong.
He did.
Except
and
the goalkeeper.
I'm afraid. He's gonna make a bad mistake against Arsenal on Sunday. And I'm telling you, he will make another mistake on Sunday. Potter, I think Potter's now noticed that he wants to play 3 at the back, and the system's not working. Raheem Sterling is not a right wing back. Do not play that guy there, man. Do not play that guy.
For me, it's not the system; it's the players, and Potter has to find out the right system.
Yeah. It is a bit of the system as well, though. I believe. I think it is a bit of the system because.
But the problem is he doesn't know the right system. He doesn't know what's right for this place.
It's the system. You don't know the system for a minute.
The one thing is you shouldn't be playing against Brighton. As I said it before, we shouldn't have been playing wingers as wing backs. That was suicide.
Yes. Oh yeah, that was the first big mistake.
No, it's a second. It did the first game against Salzburg, right? The first half, it looked good.
What?
Right, but we had a different start. We had a different formation out that game.
Yeah.
But in the second half, he still carried that game, and then Salzburg clicked onto it, and they were forcing the centre back.
They tried, but we had it controlled. Yeah. No, damn, we had that game controlled. There was no way they were going to come back.
I don't want Conor Gallagher up front, man. I don't want him up front. I'm afraid him have him in the middle or play him up front. Or in that case, why don't we try Mason Mount at right wing back?
Conor Gallagher was the best. Conor Gallagher against Brighton was one of our best players. He made the goal. He had a shot. It was unlucky. The goalkeeper saved it. He tries. Every time I see Gallagher, he gives 120%, which I don't see a lot from any.
But not up front.
Apart from Chalobah, Silva, Aspie when he comes on, and not many others. No one. And Aubameyang, he tries, but he has to get supplied. So Gallagher is.
People say that's great. Yeah. People say that's playing on Wednesday.
Gallagher
I don't rate Gallagher up front with a front three.
I don't know what you're watching then.
I don't want him up front.
Gallagher is just behind the forwards, attacking.
Apart from one cross, apart from one cross, and you're saying that's a good. He was good.
That was a brilliant cross. Pin on. Who does the Mason Mount do that? Does the other player do that? No.
Mason Mount does it. Mason Mount has done it before.
All right, Dan. Let's move on from Gallagher, please, because we're going to argue. You know, we've done that before.
But Conor Gallagher, right? For a minute, he could do a bit what any other football player could do, like even Reece James has crossed that ball in. But Conor Gallagher,
let's forget. All right, stop with Conor Gallagher now. Let's go to Dex. Dex, I said a word for a while. Dex, is Conor Gallagher a good player? That's the question.
I mean, right.
Talk the truth, bro. Don't talk the truth, bro.
No, Dan, let him answer.
No, Dan. Listen. You can have your own opinions and stuff, right? But just hear me out, right? Me personally, from what I've seen at Gallagher, especially at Palace, I thought he was a baller. You know, when he was out loan at Palace, I thought he was arguably one of the best young midfielders in that season, especially at that time. Now, obviously, when he came to Chelsea, you know, it's a bit of a different setting. You're playing for a bigger club, you know, better players around you. You know, the environment's different. You know, there's a lot of different aspects to, you know, playing it within Palace, who are a mid-table side, you know, haven't got the same quality, you know, and all that. But obviously, with Gallagher, you know, for me, I think Gallagher on paper, he is a good player. He is a good player. Like, he's a very good squad player to have in your squad. You know, he's young. He's very good at you know, passing range. He's very energetic. You know, he does all the good aspects that a good footballer needs to do. Now, I think the criticism on him, obviously, from my point of view, I think is a little bit harsh because, the guy's only young. He's only coming into his career and is into his development. And I think personally, like, obviously you can see that at the moment, yes, it's not going well for him, but, give him a bit of time, because this is the thing you got to understand with young players, yeah. Young players, they're all different in their careers. You can get some that can burst onto the scene and do well, like your Sakas and your Fodens and all that. But then you get some younger players that, need a bit of time, a bit of nurturing, and you just need the right manager to learn and get better under them. Not every young player is going to burst onto the Premier League scene for a top team and be a world-class player. It's very rare. For Gallagher, I think when I watch him play, he definitely 100% has the potential to become a top player. He has. That's just my point of view. When Gallagher is a
Palace, I've been saying it all the time, Dex. I'm just saying, because you can tell every time I go to Chelsea and I watch him live, that's when he shows more than, he gives 100% more. He's fighting for that badge. And when he scores, he's going crazy with the fans. Not only that, he puts in a lot of things into the game. His attack, he doesn't give up. Yeah. He loses the ball, he runs back and wins it back. He's a proper midfielder, an up and down midfielder, which we don't have. He's the best for us.
He's done it twice in 2 games.
He's young, he's going to get even better. And you're going to come back to me. I told you a million times, you're going to come back in 2-3 seasons.
I've watched him at Crystal Palace.
And you're going to say, sorry, I was wrong about Gallagher. Gallagher is our future. One of our future.
I went to Crystal Palace in Chelsea game. Yeah, that goal he scored was a good goal.
Yeah, Crystal Palace. I'm not even thinking about it. I was watching Gallagher now. I didn't watch him. Wait, Dan. I didn't watch Gallagher play 90 minutes at Palace. I watched highlights or whatever, some games on TV. But when I watch him live, he shows me like Dan said, like Dex said, he's going to be our future. He will become, much better.
Probably next season. But this season, he's not. He ain't proven.
Let's go back to
he ain't proven.
Yeah, hold on.
He's not.
Max and Certify, whoever wants to go next. I want to hear what you think about Gallagher.
Can I just say one thing before we say on Sam? Yeah. I'll be honest, Dan, and this is not me lying or taking the mickey. When Gallagher was going back to Chelsea, me and quite a few other Liverpool fans, we said that we wanted Gallagher to come in the summer, as a midfielder to come into Liverpool. I would take Gallagher literally like right now if he was available. Honestly, I would take him at Liverpool because I think Gallagher, in the way that we play,
I think even City would take Gallagher. Even City, he would thrive. Every club would take Gallagher.
Who would you take out, Gallagher or Billy Gilmour?
Billy Gilmour is not in the, he's not here. Gallagher is. Billy Gilmour was treated bad.
But he's coming back. He's coming back now. He's going to come back next season.
How's he going to come back?
We're going to get him back off Brighton because he ain't been playing for Brighton.
He's not even playing for Brighton. Yeah, I would love Billy Gilmour back.
We sold him though. He wasn't late.
Yeah, we sold him.
Yeah, we sold him for 9 mil, but we'll get him back. We'll get him back for next season.
Why? I don't think we're going to get him back. I hope we can buy him back. He's not even playing.
Ben Jacob.
Yeah, but he's Matt Dan. He's not even playing football right now. How are we going to get him back if he's not playing?
Because Potter wants him back. Because that's Potter got.
Who said no? He's not playing, Dan. You can't bring a player back if he's not playing at all. God.
You can bring a player. Yeah, but I'm saying, Nick, you can't bring a player back. If he ain't playing, you can bring him back. But then what you do,
how much will Brighton ask for? Tell me.
Well, 9 mil, 10 mil.
I don't know. If Potter really wants Billy Gilmour back, he will tell Bowley and he will bring him back. But I'm just saying, at the moment, it's not even in Brighton's plans He's not even playing. We don't know. I don't even know if he's injured or not.
He ain't injured. He was on the bench.
No, he was on the bench on Saturday.
He was on the bench on Saturday.
Yeah.
He was on the bench on
So
Saturday.
they're not even using the
They
guy.
didn't pick him.
They're not using.
They didn't need him. They didn't need him on Saturday. Sorry,
Yeah.
they didn't need him
Saturday,
because we were so rubbish. But yeah, let's see. I would love to see Billy Gilmore come back. I want to see our Ampadu come back. I want to see Colwill come back. That was our future. But Tuchel got rid of these players, which are it was very wrong decision, and that's another reason he got sacked. We did if we had all these youth players, we would have had a spine, and added with a few experienced players, Aubameyang, Havertz, and whatever. We would have been in a different position right now, because these youth players, they fight like Gallagher does. They fight with everything for the badge, for Chelsea. Like we always, So yeah. Anyway, let's move on from that Gallagher situation.
Let's talk about Sagbag. Let's talk about Sagbag game. Who would you want to play at Sagbag's game?
Sorry, say again. Sorry,
Salah-Bag.
Dan.
We've got Salah-Bag. We've got Salah-Bag on Wednesday. Yeah.
We got Zagreb.
What team do you want? What team would you want out?
Zagreb. We're going to have a lot of players rested. That's a guarantee.
So I'll play a youth team. We've qualified. We've won the league. Yeah. We've won the group anyway. So
we've won the league.
I'll just play every Silva. I wouldn't have played Silva, even if Aspilicueta plays as a centre back or whatever. I don't care. I'll play that guy Hutchinson, Broha, Ziyech, and Pulisic can play up front in the as wingers. Zakaria, let's see what he's about. And probably Chukwuemeka. But we're struggling at the back at the minute, so we'll have to play someone like
Koulibaly's back. But Koulibaly's back from the Arsenal game. So
right. So I'll give him a run out to see. He needs to get his fitness up.
No, he's been training, Nick. He's been training. He's back.
Yeah, but match fitness.
Yeah, let's hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, Koulibaly and Chalobah probably. Koulibaly and Chalobah give Silva a rest. Put in.
Anyway, we're gonna do the Arsenal game on Friday or Saturday, whatever. Probably Friday. Friday's Guy Fawkes tonight as well. So like today's Halloween night. We probably do it. I'm not sure. Well, we're going to do the Arsenal.
Today's not Halloween night, is it? I thought Saturday was Halloween night.
No, it's today. It's tonight, Max.
No, it's
31st.
Chelsea, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. For us, it's double Halloween for us. Double time. Oh God. Anyway, let's read some of the comments Staff's been making. First, I'm going to start with this. Go back to Conor Gallagher. Under Tuchel, Gallagher played just 95 minutes in 5 games. Tuchel had him as at DM. You cannot judge him on that. Yeah, very true. Anyone wants to come on in that? Anyone wants to make a comment? They can. Next one.
Staff needs to go check back here. Right, with Thomas Tuchel with Conor Gallagher, he says 5th game. What, the second game, he didn't play for the whole 90 minutes. He came in for a DM and he was useless and he subbed him off in the second half for the playing for the DM.
There's another question here.
I ain't got nothing wrong.
I know, Dan, we're not saying you have, but just talking, go with the comments. If he doesn't play, how does he develop? Yeah. Why is Dan comparing Billy with Billy at DM with Gallagher and attacking mid? Yeah, I'm not sure if you're doing that anyway. Anyway, let's move from Gallagher. So we do the ratings. Is it worth doing the ratings? I think they all got 0 out of 10.
I'll do mine because I've got to go in a minute.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear your ratings, Max. Yeah, do yours first. Right, let's start off with Kepa.
Kepa 5.
5. Bit low.
He did all right, but he conceded.
He saved us a couple of times. Could have been worse, really.
Yeah, but still.
All right. Yeah.
No one after a 4-1, no one can get over that, over a 5 or 6.
It's hard, yeah.
Silver's the only one. He gets a 7. Silver gets a 7 because of his 2 clearances. Chalobah was his worst performance so far for us. I thought he looked shaky. He gets a 4. Cucurella gets a 3. That's being generous.
Yeah.
Just because I knew that he wasn't well, so he gets the extra mark because he's not fully fit. He's been ill. Sterling, I give him a 2. Couldn't dribble past anyone at all the other day.
That's been very generous too. Very generous from you. I would have given him 0, -0. I'm not joking either.
Pulisic, again, didn't really do anything, did he? But I'm just giving them those marks because
them two deserve the same marks, I think.
Yeah, same as Sterling. Loftus-Cheek, he was poor as well. He looked lost. He gets a 2.
God.
Cover, probably another one. He wasn't disciplined at all. His dribbling was okay-ish sometimes, but again, giving him a 2. I thought Havertz did okay-ish in parts, so I'm giving him a 5.
Then he got the goal.
Yeah, not only did he got the goal, I thought he played okay in parts. Mount, second half, I thought he did a bit better, but his decision making is still poor. So he gets a 4. Gallagher should have scored. He had that opportunity. It wasn't one of his better games neither, so he gets a 4 as well. Is there someone I've missed?
No, only the subs left.
The
subs. They didn't come on for long anyway.
He was unlucky with that double save where they scored. He's made 2 good saves before that.
He got.
Hakim Ziyech.
Ziyech got what, 5 minutes? I don't think he's worth.
Yeah, you can't rate him. He wasn't on for long.
Yeah, there's 2 guys who came on for 5. There's 2 guys who came on for 5 minutes. There's Ziyech and.
That's why we can't mark them. Aspie came on, didn't he, as well?
Yeah, I can't mark them.
It was too late. We lost the game. Yeah, but we do the first 11 who actually played. Yeah, I think you're quite fair, Max. Really, for even giving 4s and 2s, very fair. Because I wouldn't give them that much. Oh, yeah, really. Anyway, let's go to. Yeah, all right. You go next, then. Yeah.
Right, Kepa, I'll give him a 4. Right, Cucurella, I'm going to give him a 2. Yeah. Thiago Silva, I'm gonna give him a 5, right? Because he didn't do too bad, but it was apart from the sluggish balls passing, right? Chalobah, I'm gonna give him a 3.5 because I felt sorry for him, but he was so bad, right? Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I'm gonna give him a 2, right? Covey, I'm gonna give him a 4, right? Because he was sluggish, but he tried to keep the ball some in the second half, but it somehow couldn't work the system. Pulley and Sterling, I'm going to both give them the same mark, 1.5 each, because they were terrible. Right?
Yeah.
They were terrible.
They were.
Mason Mount, he didn't show up, so I'm going to give him a 2. Conor Gallagher, I'm going to give him because he got an assist, I'm going to play nice for him. I'm going to give him a 2.5. Yeah.
God.
Nice. I'll give him a 3. I'll give him a 3.
I'll give him a 4.
I'll give him a 3. Yeah, I'll give him a 3. I'll give him a 3. Then Havertz, I'm gonna because he scored that goal. I'll give him. He did well. He did chest it, try to pass it to Raheem Sterling to get the goal, but Sterling messed it up and went to put it. So I'll give Havertz a 5.
Okay.
That's it. That's my team.
Fair enough.
Mendy came on. Then Mendy came on.
Yeah.
I'll give Mendy. Yeah, Mendy. I'll give him. The goal wasn't his fault. It came off the rebound. Yeah, I'm going to give him a 5.5.
It's very generous. Yeah, Dex, you have it. Can we have your marks?
So Kepa,
Kepa.
I'll give Kepa a 5 because even though like it was one of those games, I feel like with him in there it could have been more. So he did well in some parts. So I'll give him a 5 on that one. Thiago Silva, I think I'll give him a 4 because even though he did better, but I think at the start, kind of like the mistakes and stuff, kind of like cost the team a bit, but it is what it is. So I'll give him that. Chalobah, I think he was one of the worst out of the defense, so I think I'll give him a 2. Who else was there? Oh yeah, Cucurella. I'll give him a 3.5. And then the wing backs, Sterling. I'm going to give Sterling a 1 because I don't know what that guy did all game to really influence the game a lot, really, and the amount of times he didn't trap was poor in itself. So I'll give him a 1. I don't know who the other wing back was.
Pulisic.
Pulisic. He tried to score. He should have scored that goal. My 6-year-old kicker scored.
Pulisic. Did you give Pulisic? Yeah,
Pulisic. I'll give him I'll give him a 3.
That's generous, really. What I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, like you've got about that chance, but
it's been nice.
Yeah, at the end of the day, he didn't really do a lot of good in the defensive part of the game. So yeah, the midfield, Gallagher. I'll give Gallagher. Do you know what? I'll give Gallagher a 4.5 because I think like it was one of those games he did do his best to try and implement it and try and get.
He tried. Yeah, I agree with you.
Who's the other midfield?
Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
I'll give Ruben a 2.
Ruben and Kovacic.
Ruben a 2. Kovacic, I'll give him a 4. And then attacking wise, Havertz, I'll give Havertz a 5. Even though he didn't do a lot, he did score a good goal. So I'll give him a 5 for that. And then who else have I missed out?
Mendy, Mason Mount.
I'll give Mason Mount a 5. A 5.
5. God, that's very, very generous. Yeah.
I know. I'll give him 5. Substitutes, Mendy. To be fair, I'll go with what Dan said. I'll give him the same marks as we gave Mendy because you can't do nothing about that goal. And like when he came on, he did make 1 or 2 good saves. So it's that really. And then
you're right. What's the mark?
Nick.
Wait, Dan. What's the mark for Mendy? Hold on, Dan.
Okay.
Yeah, Dan, hold on. What's the mark for Mendy? 5. 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sorry, Nick.
I'll just say Michael. Dan, go ahead. Dan, what?
I want to. Right, Stav, Harris is not his fault. Right, when you got 3 players in the goalkeeper's half and 1 shot and saves, second one he saves the second one. The third one when I did the first shot, how could you, when he saved that when he bounced and he's getting any chance when there's no ring, Sterling didn't go tackle or any centre backs try tackle. It was a lucky goal. That wasn't his fault.
It wasn't it was in a way. He saved it, but he didn't go out far enough. That's what he's trying to say.
But no matter what, if you've got a hard shot, if you've got a 60 to 80 mile per hour shot from inside the box, yeah, you ain't, and then it bends across your fingers right back.
Anyway, the game was lost. It doesn't matter. Dan, it's not worth arguing about that because the game was lost before that. We wasn't going to come back. No chance. We had a little hope when we made it 3-1. A little hope, like Jason Candy said on the Chelsea website. We had a little hope, but it wasn't to be. We were outplayed, outranked, outmaneuvered, out everything against Brighton. They done everything spot on. So it wasn't to be. Doesn't matter.
How long Kepa's out, Nick? How long's Kepa out, Nick? Do you know how long Kepa's out?
We don't know yet. I don't know till we hear the press conference.
Because he got injured in that Brighton game.
Maybe tomorrow, we don't know. Yeah, Mendy will be starting on Wednesday for sure. Let me just quickly say mine before we go. Kepa, I can't blame him much for the goals because they had no chance in hell. 2 own goals, and the other one was very hard to save. So I'll give him 5. 5 for Kepa. Chalobah, I don't blame Chalobah too much or Silva because they couldn't do everything. 2 defenders couldn't do a job for 4 defenders. So I'm giving Chalobah 4, Thiago Silva 5. He saved us. He saved 2 goals off the line, don't forget. Could have been worse. And going on to Cucurella, hardly noticed him really. A 3. Then going on to Sterling. Sterling, oh God, invisible again. Shouldn't have played, shouldn't have started. Left wing back or left up front, whatever. You have to drop him. He's not long form. He gets. I can't give him 1. He didn't do nothing. So I'm giving him a 0 out of 10. 0 for Sterling. Same with Pulisic. Didn't do nothing at all. 0. They don't deserve to get 1 or 1.5 or whatever. 0 for both. Absolutely rubbish. Never tracked back. They were trolling back and looking in the air.
You are a hard man.
No, it's true though, Max. They were trying. You saw the game. They were walking back.
I was being nice. I was being nice.
And they were looking up in the sky. What are you looking at? You know. So they get 0 from me.
My 6-year-old boy could score that goal.
Wait, hold on, man. Let me finish. So they get 0, both of them. Absolutely, really terrible. I've never seen the bad players play for Chelsea like they did that day. Never in my life. I'm really pissed off with them. And Mason Mount, like Max said, he done better in the second half, but overall he wasn't good. No one on that pitch was good. So for me, he gets a 4, maybe 4. I'll give him 4. And Havertz, he gets a 5 because he got the goal. And that's about it because he got the goal. But what we need,
Havertz did that chest
and Mendy, hold on, Dan, please. Mendy gets the same as Kepa. He came on, all right, he saved it. The game was lost. I can't blame him too much for anything. His kicking out was a bit better than usual. so I'll give him 4.5. Kepa gets 5. So he has to get 4.5. That's my ratings. Yeah, go on, Dan. Carry on.
I'm saying Havertz. The only most thing what Havertz was like only thing when he chested that ball to Raheem and then got that ball down from his chest onto the floor against Brighton with the feet and pass that Sterling. Why did not Sterling shot that, man? I don't know why. This Sterling needs to have a rest. You know what it is? Potter's making him happy for the World Cup. That's about it. He needs to rest him.
Anyway, guys, I've got to run.
We're all going soon. Thanks for coming on. Thanks a lot. Great to see you back. Take care. Thanks a lot. Yeah, Dan. See you. Yeah, Stav is asking, we're doing the Zagreb preview. Yeah, I'm thinking about that, Stav. I'm thinking that's on Wednesday we play Zagreb. I'm not sure if I'm going to do, I would let you know tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday,
I was
so
going
if
to do
we're
one
going to do
tomorrow.
it, we have to do it tomorrow. You're doing one?
Yeah, I was going to do it. I was doing one tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah,
I don't think I'll do the Zagreb because we've won the group. So I don't think I'll do it. I'll be back probably Friday for the Thursday or Friday. It could be Thursday for the Arsenal preview. That's what I'm going to do. Probably Thursday because Friday's Guy Fawkes night and my grandchildren might come and want to see some, bangers and stuff, fireworks. So I think that one.
Nick, come to my show. Come to my show tomorrow night because I'm only gonna talk about the team, the youth team, what he picks out, Potter picks out for tomorrow. And
I'll be there.
If Sakurai starts,
as usual.
Yeah, if Sakurai starts and Chumaeka and Sam Hutchinson, if all them not play against this team, I want to talk about them to see what improvements that is for the.
I hope they do. They will play. I think they're going to play, and we can see more of what they're made of. I want to see these youngsters. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, let me finish the show off. Thanks. Everyone will come on.
If stuff sub me to the Chelsea dance show.
Stuff's in the chat. I don't know who's gone.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And if he's got Instagram, add me on Instagram stuff. Yeah, and I'll get you on. Or if you got Twitter, I will send him the link for tomorrow night's show if he wants to come on tomorrow night's show.
Okay. Yeah, you do that. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to end it now. We've had a good stream, really. Thanks to the panelists. Thanks a lot for Dan for coming all the time he comes on. I'm very grateful, Dan. You know that, and the rest certified. Kenny, Bobby, Max, certified. Yeah, I think I mentioned everyone. Thanks a lot for coming on. Staff for being in the chat. He didn't come on tonight, but he was in the chat, keeping it going. Thanks to you, staff. Thanks a lot. And like I said, we'll probably be Thursday, the next show. Yeah, Thursday, I think, for the Arsenal preview. Yeah, because tomorrow we're going to be on Dan's channel for the Zagreb preview. Yeah, so everyone come to Dan's, CFC Dan on YouTube and Twitter. We could be on there. We discuss the Zagreb game. Thanks a lot, people. Thanks a lot.
Hit the like button and subscribe to this, one of the top legend. Hit the like button for this top legend.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks.
I love him. I love Nick.
Yeah, thanks, Dan.
He's a top legend. He's a granddad to us, man. He's a family. He's our granddad. He's a top legend.
Not so much of the granddad. Anyway, thanks, folks. God bless you all. Good night. And let's hope, Chelsea will be back. That Chelsea will be back. Yeah, that's what I want to say for the last thing. Yeah, so let's go. Let's see. Hold on a minute. Private chat.
Nick, I'll keep you up. I'm gonna head off. I'm gonna have to head off because I've got to help my missus out. But thank you for letting me join the show. Yeah, big up to you guys. Okay, my brother. Thanks for letting me join, man. Big up to everyone. Up the Chelsea. Come on, Chelsea. See you later.
Thanks, folks. Good night to everyone. God bless to all of you.
God bless.
Bye.